This week we got a bit of this and a bit of this.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers, don't care what other people say. We're living like this could be our final day.
Welcome back. How the devil are you? Have we all had a good week? So I'm just currently making Molly's feeder, and then I thought we'd go and fetch her in and see how she is, and then give you a little bit of a recap of what we've been doing this week. The main goal that I set for myself was to sit on Molly. So I've not ridden or seen anybody ride Molly since she was delivered. Hopefully I'm going to show you exactly what we went through. I think I left you last time where I was lunging with a roller on and some very, very loose side reins. So yeah, I'll go through what we've done this week. So give me 2 minutes and then we'll go and get her. Pony is captured. I'm biased, but I do think she's, even when she's a mud monster, I think she's fantastic. We're getting a little bit of a bond, aren't we, moles? So this week started off with the goal, if we're thinking about we need to get on board. Thank you. Come on. If we think about the goal and that I need to get on board and see exactly what she's like on the saddle, disclaimer, she has had saddle fitted, bridle fitted, and all the MOT checked out, so come on, we know that she's good to go. I started doing a bit of lunge work with her tack on, so I'm going to show you that now, and I'll do a bit of a voiceover. Obviously there is other things, you know, it's not like I lunged her once and then jumped on, but I'm not going to repetitively show the same lunge sessions because it is very boring. And let's be honest, training youngsters is a lot of small repetitive sessions. I mean, I love them, but you might find that boring to watch. So yeah, this is when I took her in the school and lunged with tack on. So starting the session, she's fully tacked up and I'm just trying to push her away from me. She doesn't go out well at the moment, so I start her off in a small circle and she's getting the habit now that I need her to move forward. And as you see, we're just getting a little bit of, what's going on, Mum? She's got the tack on, stirrups up at the moment, and she's just flexing her neck out, and I'm just getting her to try and relax, going round in a circle, and I want a nice relaxed walk or trot. We're focusing on the trot here, and what I don't want to do is to break into canter, because previously, that was lovely, moles, like she was stretching down there. Previously she would automatically go into canter and want to go really fast, and I'm trying to get her to relax. Here we go. One thing I love is actually now she stops with the voice. So here I just say, whoa, and she stopped. And we're going to turn her onto the other rein now and do exactly the same thing. At this point, I have pulled my stirrups down. So just to give her the feeling of something on her side. A lot of the ex-racers are not really used to legs on the side. And she just had a little bit of a moment there where she was kind of like, oh, something's different. But Molly being Molly, there we go. Stretches down, lovely, and relaxes into it. She's such a fast learner, and I'm just mega impressed with just her whole attitude to work. Has just, yeah, astounded me. So this was a really good session, and here again, I asked her to go forward a little bit more, and she just bounced straight into canter, whereas really I just wanted an active trot. But well done, moles. Back in the dry and warm cover stable. So as you can see, the lunging with tack went really well. I had no concerns. She seemed happy. She's still a little bit suffering from separation anxiety, but we are working on it. We are working on it, and she's getting better. Next step, after I've kind of lunged her in the tack and I know that she's comfortable, is that to try and actually sit on her. And I think sometimes this can be the scariest part, and the scariest part for me is the unknown. So I don't know whether she's going to bronk, run off, do whatever. just have issues. And so you have to kind of take a leap of faith and decide that today's the day that I'm going to get on. So I was fully back protected up and everything else. And one of the other main issues that you have with ex-racehorses is that they're never really taught to stand at a mounting block, so they will walk off. In the racing world, they usually have a jockey legged up on them, so they don't really have to stand. So I was quite surprised on this day that I decided to. So I put the mounting block somewhere where if she decided that she was going to jolt forwards, there wasn't a lot of place for her to go. So it was in the yard, confined space, all safe. And I was so surprised that she just stood there. Like, she was so good. So good. Filled me with so much confidence. I do think with Molly, like, she's the first one out of the 3 that I've retrained. I've felt so confident getting on. I just didn't think she'd do anything. And she didn't. She's listening. She was a very good girl. So pictures that I've taken just to show you the very first seat on this little pocket rocket. So I was comfortable that I was on board. She's getting there, the ribs are going. And that she was happy. So the next stage, I did this last week, was just take her for a walk out. So I had my daughter come up with me, again just for a safety reason, because I had somebody else with me in case anything did happen. And I took her for a little walk around the lanes I've got here. So one of the best things about moving here is we've got miles of off-road hacking. And you can hack around the yard, around the farm, which for a baby is going to be absolutely ideal. So I took her for a little walk around the lanes. Went really well, but what it did kind of point out was that she needed a little bit of help on her feet. So she came barefoot, and I just felt that she was very footy, and so got the farrier out, and after consultation we decided that front shoes front shoes was a great idea, and we've left the backs barefoot at the moment to see if we can get as much as we can without lots of intervention and lots of shoes on her. So she's got fronts on at the moment, and that made a massive difference. There's a whole big debate on barefoot versus shoes. I always think it's on each individual horse's basis, and some can go barefoot, some can't. Reg would have really struggled barefoot, but Mo was really good. He went barefoot for a long time before we had shoes on. So this little lady, we're going to try the minimal as what we can, and see if we can get away with fronts for now. Tell me you're paranoid about turnout without telling me you're paranoid about turnout. She has like a full set of boots on. So yeah, the week is going really well. We've lunged in the tack. I've managed to get on her with no issues, and I've managed to walk her out. Comes to the weekend that has just gone, so the Sunday, and Tanya was here, and she decided to say, why don't we take her in the school for a bit and see what she's like. So tacked her up, managed to get on straight away, no lunging. She was very calm, she was very good in herself, no problems, and we took her in the school for a bit. So now I'm going to put on some footage, and it's very raw, and it'll show you exactly the whole session, which probably lasted maximum 10 minutes. The ups, the downs, and just the common things that come up with ex-racehorses that come straight from the track. So we have to remember that Molly has had no previous training. She has gone from racing to a field and then to me. So I hope this is useful to show you exactly that 10-minute session. And I think in that 10-minute session, we get 10 seconds of really, really good work. And it's also important to remember that you might have to do 10, 15, 20, probably more sessions to get just the tiniest bit of good work with them. But bearing in mind, Molly's just about to turn 4. So it's all good experiences. The main thing for me is that she leaves positive and feeling calm and happy in her work. I never want to train her out of fear, because there'll always be something that'll come up that she'll fear more than me if you do that. It's a short-term gain. How long it takes. I'm working on long-term goals with her. So see what you think of this next session. To start, I'm going to take her up to the top end of the school where I know she feels comfortable. All my goal this session was just to get her to walk and trot comfortably. Here she is. I'm just taking a little bit of a hold to test the brakes. She's just resisting against it. So I'm very light in my hand and ensuring that I don't necessarily take a grip on her. X-racehorses, grip means go faster. So now I'm just kind of walking around, making sure she's calm. And she's doing really well, bless her. She really wants to be with her friends. And I need to remember to keep the leg on. So again, walking round. And here she just gets a little bit of separation anxiety. And I'm going to let you listen to it. There you go. She just gets a little bit, I want to be with my friends, and starts that bouncing. I just calmly sit, give her a pat and say, no, that's not what I want today. And again, as I try to turn her, she's just going, I want to be with my friends. I sit calmly, give her a nice pat of reassurance and say, no, pal, we're going to just walk round. That's what I'm asking you to do. And that's what I would like you to do. And she starts to relax. I think the more you keep relaxed in the seat, the better they are, the tenser you become. And I know it's really, believe you and me, I know it's difficult. But the more tense you become, the worse that they become as well. They can read it very well. So now I'm asking her to start trotting. I do not ask for any kind of contact at all at this stage, but she's naturally coming into an outline. I'm just literally holding the reins to give her some support. The main thing here is I want her to go forward. I don't want her to she doesn't understand contact, so I don't necessarily want her to resist against it. Here, look, this is the 10 seconds of absolute fabulous work. And such as a youngster, we have a JCB that makes a noise shortly, and she decides to kind of throw a bit of spice. So here we are again, amazing. The 10 seconds of trot work, and then she just decides that actually something's going to make me spook, and there we go. So that's just the joy of riding any youngster, I think, is you just have to be prepared for all these little outbursts. It was a noise that was in the yard, so I decided to just stop, let her look, and give her a pat, and just reassure it's all right, mate. Like, nothing's going to hurt you. We're in here, we can do things at a slower pace. And she's just a little bit anxious, on her toes, a little bit mouthy, doesn't really understand what we want. But on the whole today, I was really pleased with her. Like, I couldn't have asked for more. She walked calmly, we trotted round, and she got that fantastic section of trot work that just excites me to carry on. Again, trying not to hold onto her mouth and just try and kick and push her forward. Yeah. It's work in progress, guys. It's not going to be perfect from the onset. And I hope this shows the actual reality of ex-racehorses and probably youngsters in general. They're very unpredictable and they don't really know what you want. So again, I'm just working on turning and just getting the basic aids. Stop, go, left, right, forward. Happy beans. She's got some serious potential though. Like when we're looking at her when she does the trot, I'm very excited. And that's kind of it for this week. Hope it's not too boring. It's showing a slow and steady progress of a little ex-racehorse as she comes into the world of being a riding horse, whatever the future might hold for her. If you liked it, please give us a like, a comment and subscribe for more updates on this absolute little legend. Whatever she does, she's turning out to be an absolute little cracker. And she puts her foot in her food. Till next week, look after yourselves, keep it real. Schedule for next week, that's kind of what it looks like. We're only doing 3 days at the moment with days off in between, bit of hacking and a bit of walk poles. We come alive in the nighttime. You